Alright. That payphone's got something weird going on there. That's not right.
The name's Chonks, Marty Chonks. I run the bitchin' dog food factory around the corner. I got money troubles, but hey, who doesn't, right? I'm meeting my bank manager later. He's a crooked bastard that keeps bumping up the loan repayment so he can cut a slice. Take my car, pick him up, and bring him back here. I got a little surprise for that blood-sucking leech.
I like that name, Marty Chonks. That's a name that sounds pretty original, like Chonks. Just a weird name. And I go the wrong direction here because I'm an idiot. I could have just gone left right from the payphone and got into the vehicle, but yeah, this starts something, a staple in the Grand Theft Auto series, at least in the Grand Theft Auto 3 era anyway.
Where's my damn pool?
Where a random payphone rings, your character answers it, and some stranger gives you a mission. That's a strange phenomenon to me. There's a hidden package, hidden pretty well. That's something that happens when you jump too close to something, and so you don't actually jump. Your guide just backs up like, whoa, what the fuck was that? I kind of like this gate here. I kind of like how you can't get in there without the gate opening. Although it'll just open from the very beginning. These missions are available from the very beginning. And they're extra, you don't have to do them. I do them, I normally do them because I kind of like them. Although, they're kind of boring. I'm not entirely sure what I like about them. Well, I just like the characters, I guess. There's some interesting dialogue you're not going to get otherwise.
Oh, Mr. Chonk sent you, did he? Let's go and pay the fellow a visit.
But yeah, that's strange that a payphone, just someone calls a random payphone. How do you even get a payphone number anyway? And they just stand there waiting for someone to answer it. And then they just, whoever answers it, just like, here, do this for me. And do this really illegal, murderous act. Yeah, I did back up just to hit the fire hydrant. I like doing that. God, this is a horrible song. This character takes way too long to walk into the door. The walking animation for characters is really slow, and it's annoying when you have to sit through it in a cutscene. God, this song is horrible.
Get your hands off me, arse!
This game is so fucking funny sometimes. Get your hands off me, ass! That's a... Hey, okay, finally I changed the station. That's another thing I like about this game, or the fake corporations all have these funny names, like Fudge Packing Corp, like I talked about before, and then Bitchin' Dog Food. It's way cooler than having real corporations, real brand names in the game. That's just lame. Oh, that's something interesting that's happening right now on Chatterbox. This is a character talking that you meet later in the game that actually brings up your character and a bunch of events in the game that I've not done yet at this point. So that's something interesting, because the radios just play on a loop. But I kind of wish that they had made this not happen until you had, like, this part of the radio station doesn't play until you've done that in the game. Just, I don't know, it would make a little more sense, but it is interesting that you can hear that before you've even done those events in the game. So that's kind of cool. You can bring just random cars over here too, and the crane will pick it up and drop it in here to destroy the evidence. Although, plenty of people could see you do this. And then the crane, the magnet, whatever, just goes right through the trash compactor, whatever the hell that is. Just make sure he's completely crushed, if I could.
I hired some thieves to break into my apartment and steal some stuff so I could claim on the insurance, as you do. The thieving bastards are threatening to tell the insurance company if I don't give them a cut. Can you believe it? I left the car inside the factory gates. Use it to go pick them up from their turf in the red light district.
Some of the cars in cutscenes don't have drivers. That one did have a driver in that cutscene, but I think in the cutscene when you talk to Marty Chonks first, he doesn't. I mean, the cars don't have drivers. Also, the cars don't have drivers in the very beginning cutscene either, except for the armored van or whatever, the prison convoy that your character is in. I like how Marty Chonks, he's like, as you do, the way he says that, how he's just describing these really cliche criminal acts, these really cliche, pretty uninteresting criminal acts. That's one of the things I like about Marty Chonks, is he has that that vernacular of somebody that would do like, I'm gonna... Okay, get in the car. Oh, there's two guys. Oh wait, I remember, yeah, he said there were more than one. Oh, these guys don't say anything? Oh, normally they say something. But I like how he's got the vernacular of some, like, wannabe wise guy kind of character, because that's completely what he is, and it's what he sounds like. And I kind of like the character Marty. Like, that's one of the reasons why I like to do these missions. Is I do kind of like the character of Marty. I like his dialogue and his voice actor. And I like how he has you bring people that are giving him problems or people he doesn't like over to the bitchin' dog food factory. And then he kills them and makes them dog food. That's pretty interesting. Here's another song that's completely out of place for what's happening. As these two guys walk to their death in a warehouse. This is what every mission is like. Going picking somebody up and bringing them back to Marty.
Whoa! Put it down. Come on, put it.
Easy there, partner. I like the sound effects of them getting, I guess, chopped with a meat cleaver or something. It's more interesting than just gunshots. Although, it would be kind of funny if they walk in and then there's gunshots and then screaming. Well, that's something cool about this game that I just thought of, is the voice acting for the main characters is all really good. I mean, this was one of the first games that I'd ever played that had good voice acting. But, the characters, just the characters on the streets and the minor characters have these... It's not bad voice acting, but it's not trying to be good, you know, it's not trying to sound really professional. You can tell it's just, like, probably just developers being like, hey, what you doing, partner? You know, just doing stupid voices. That's one of the things I like. It keeps good humor in this game. And that's one of the biggest things about the Grand Theft Auto games, the older ones, is how it was a serious game, it was a fun game, and it had this, like, criminal dark element to it. It had a sense of humor. The humor is a huge part of it. I mean, the radio stations, the goofy voice acting, you know, get your hands off me ass, you know, like that guy in the first Marty Chonks mission. That was one of my favorite things. And listening to the radio in these games, like, you know, this one, Vice City. San Andreas wasn't as funny, but San Andreas as well, and then Liberty City Stories, and even Vice City Stories, which I never beat, but I did kind of like. You know, they had these funny commercials on the radio, and that also adds a huge amount of atmosphere to the game, and that's a lot of what you remember from those games, is the radio. I remember having a ton of conversations with my friends about listening to Chatterbox, and we were actually, I remember, in like, I have a distinct memory from like 7th or 8th grade talking about Chatterbox at the breakfast table in middle school, you know, in like 7th or 8th grade. We were just sitting at the breakfast table talking about Chatterbox and laughing. God, what? I was like 13. What precious days. Oh yeah, this, I was just waiting for the phone to ring, and then my car gets jacked. I always like doing that, to just start shooting at the car with the pistol. I think it looks cooler to shoot people from a distance like a car with a pistol. But yeah, the phone doesn't ring except during the day for some reason. That's kind of annoying. But yeah, I do think it's interesting how your car can get stolen as well. And like, you're stealing cars all the time, and well, sometimes you can get your own car stolen. I remember when that first happened to me, I was completely shocked. But this guy's just driving in circles. A lot of times, if your car gets stolen, it's just gone. Because they'll speed off and they'll be gone, and unless you know the layout of the city really well, which I don't, you know, they're just gone. But I also think it's funny they ended up stealing a car that looks exactly like the one I had. But yeah, I do think it's fun if my car gets stolen in the game to try and chase the person down and get it. And I had a fun little adventure right here. And it's normally, I think there's only 2 character models that will steal your car. It's only the gangster stride kind of like beanie wearing looking characters in the city. I love that fearful scream. He just takes off running. This was like brilliant AI to me when I first played it. Yeah, he almost got away. He even managed to avoid my car. There you go. I love kicking them when they're down. The hand-to-hand combat's really fun in this game. I like that super save to the left there. I always like the design of that building. I like where it's located too. I like driving down there and messing around. It's one of my favorite areas of Portland.
The business is gonna go under unless I get a hold of some serious cash soon. My wife has an insurance policy, and all she's ever been to me is a hole in my pocket. I've left the car in the usual place. Go and pick up my wife from Classic Nails and bring her back to the factory.
So I can turn her into dog food, eh? What are you, a wise guy? Anyways, this will open before you even have any missions, I believe. Like what I mean by that is, if you haven't even started a Marty Chonks mission. But I'm not really sure what the deal with these missions are. I don't know why they're all so easy and why they're all the same thing. Maybe because, I mean, as soon as you beat the first mission, which is forced on you anyway, these are available. I guess maybe it's just a way for you to kind of figure out the very basics of the game as to driving from one area to the other. And because that's all you're doing, pick up a car, drive over here, and then, it takes you to a pay and spray, but there's a mission that already gives you a tutorial pay and spray kind of thing for Luigi, which I already did. I don't remember doing these missions when I was younger either. I like how you can honk the horn.
Marty wants to see me? Well, it better be quick, because I have to get my hair done.
Oh, she seems like a stupid bitch. I like how the Classic Nails is next to the Ammu-Nation. And I remember when I was younger thinking Ammu-Nation was just so fucking clever. Because, it sounds like ammunition, but then it's got like the stars and stripes as the decoration for the Ammu-Nation. Like for its logo. And then there's a British guy working there. That's interesting. Oh shit, I think I hit a cop. That's annoying when you accidentally run over a cop and you get 2 stars on a mission, but it's no big deal. Mission's over. I don't want to miss a marker. I just keep having the dumbest music play. I like when there's a cutscene when you're in the car to have some cool music playing, but there isn't really any cool music in the game, but I like to have something kind of fitting of the situation, and this is just some stupid, like, techno-y pop song. Come on, get in there already.
Patty, stop!
I didn't realize that she said, hey, like some seductress. Like, hey, stop! I just imagine he's in there with the meat cleaver. As soon as they walk in, he just pulls it out and just smacks them right in the head or something. I also kind of like how you don't see the characters get killed. Yeah, it's all done with sound effects. A little bit of ambiguity is interesting. And I'm not one for, censoring violence at all. It's like I want to see the violence, but sometimes less can be more, and this is one instance where less is more. Like, also, 3-4 times in a row of seeing somebody get stabbed with a meat cleaver, it wouldn't mean anything anymore. But with this one, you can have them say stupid things and make funny noises. So I got the cops after me while trying to get rid of this fucking car because he wants you to dump it in the sea. Yeah, it has different ways of getting rid of the cars each time. Yeah, that's why I think these are just meant to be tutorial. But you don't have to use them, so it's kind of a useless tutorial. But whatever, it's part of the game that I always do. It's some more money in your pockets or whatever. This is funny. I could probably never pull that off if I was trying to, but of course I'm just trying to, you know, knock it into the water. I just drive right over it. Now, I've got a funny memory with this that I always think of. That I really like this dock area, by the way. But, I remember I was playing a ton of Vice City, and I hadn't played Grand Theft Auto 3 in a long time. Well, in a few months, maybe, I don't know. But because I had, this was when I recently bought Vice City, and I was just playing a ton of Vice City. And I honestly, Grand Theft Auto 3 kind of put, kind of become like a... Basically, Vice City was the new thing, and Grand Theft Auto 3 was old news for a little while when I first started playing Vice City. Now I much prefer Grand Theft Auto 3. And there's a hidden package back here. That's what I'm going for. But Vice City is so lively and full of neon lights and partying, and it's always sunny because it's supposed to be in like a Miami, you know. It has a completely different atmosphere than like foggy, cloudy, rainy Grand Theft Auto 3. And I remember when I put in Grand Theft Auto 3 for the hell of it, and that's when I really noticed just how different the atmospheres were. I didn't notice that before, how he closes the door in midair.
Damn, I'm in trouble. Turns out my wife was seeing some guy I owe money to. He's got real angry, and he's looking for payback. I've agreed to see him. He thinks I'm gonna pay him off, but my guess is Liberty's dogs are gonna get yet another flavor this month.
Anyways, as I was saying, I put it in, and I really didn't feel like playing Grand Theft Auto 3. I didn't like the atmosphere because I was so used to Vice City. And I don't know why I was so against the atmosphere. Because I never even noticed just how gloomy Grand Theft Auto 3 was until I played a lot of Vice City. But I was really just more in the mood to play Vice City and more in the mood for that kind of atmosphere. And I used to do this thing when I would play games, particularly Grand Theft Auto games, because it was so easy, where I would make up some backstory for my character and like give him a name and like all kinds of things, you know, for some stupid backstory. And when I would play the game, I'd just be screwing around and pretending that they were going on some agenda, you know, that's obviously not in the real game. It's all in my head. And I created this story that my guy was really depressed and he wanted to kill himself. And what's this guy say?
Party picture, huh? Okay, I'm gonna show that big mean the work, see?
But yeah, I had thought like he was really depressed and he was thinking about killing himself. So I drove the character up to that dock and just had him sit there for a little bit, and then just had him drive off the dock and drown to death. And that's how he killed himself. And I just remember thinking that was really cool and really dark. And this was like 2003 or 4 that I did this, and I only did it that one time. I don't know why I remember it so well, but I remember that really well. And I remember thinking that was really interesting. But then, after doing that, and then screwing around a little bit, I just put Vice City back in. But I think Vice City is far inferior. But here, this music should fit.
Carl, hi. I need more time to get your money. But if you just step into my office...
It's far too late for that, Marty. You had your chance. But now, I'm taking over the business.
Loser!
He shouts loser before he kills him. Well, I always kill this guy to get a shotgun. And because I kind of like Marty. But I do think that's interesting how you see Marty at the very end of the mission, and before you only heard him on the phone. And he just looks like some shady businessman, which is exactly what he sounds like. And then you see him get killed. I think that's interesting too. But why is he just standing out there waiting for him? Why didn't he just lure him in like he did everybody else?